Hi, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, no matter what you're celebrating. This is Will from Elwood City Limits, and me and Lucas just want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for supporting us through 2020. What a tough year it's been, huh? But we have been able to give you the podcast every single week, and we've been happy to do it, to give you a little bit of a distraction, to give you something to laugh about, something to think about, and just provide you with some company when it's been kind of hard to do that this year. And we've been very happy to do it. We've been happy to receive all of the thank you messages, all the patronage that we have had this year. That has been a big help as well. But really, whether you are a patron or whether you are a listener who listens for free, we appreciate you all the same. So, yeah, speaking of the Patreon, what you're about to hear is something that was recorded earlier this year. This is kind of between lockdowns here in Nova Scotia. Lucas and I were able to get together initially in the beginning of August live and record this commentary that you're about to hear. But that didn't make it, unfortunately. So this is our second try, and it sounds a lot better. We get into a lot of the stuff that we talked about, and what it is, it's a commentary for DW and the Beastly Birthday, which was a 2017 Arthur special. Now we're digging in to some of the newer specials on these commentaries because, well, we're past the traditionally animated ones. We're past the CGI movie, Arthur's Missing Pal, and now we're in the Flash animation era. So we get into a little bit about how we feel about the animation, how we feel about the new voices, the new characters. It's a little bit of a preview for what may be to come someday when we get to the Flash animation era of Arthur. So this is a syncable commentary track. We get into all the instructions of how to do that right at the top here. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction. The link should be available on our social medias. You can also go to our Libsyn site, elwoodcitylimits.libsyn.com. We have the link there as well for the specific video file that we used. Just didn't want to advertise that too much in case, Arthur, the official Arthur accounts, had something to say about that. Anyway, just wanted to say a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays from myself and from Lucas. We appreciate you so much, and we wanted to give you this. Of course, we wanted to take Christmas off, but we did want to give you a little taste of what it's like behind the Patreon walls and give you our most recent commentary. Until next week, that is. That's right, next week, patrons, you are going to be getting an all-new Arthur commentary track, this time on an even more recent special, The Rhythm and Roots of Arthur. Remember, if you want to get access to all of our commentaries, we have uploaded a lot of them here on the main feed, so I would encourage you to go back. We even have Arthur's Perfect Christmas on the free feed if you haven't listened to that one yet, and that's very appropriate for this time of year. But every single commentary, every single movie review, and every single episode of For the Kids, and even more content is available on patreon.com/Elwood City Limits. Otherwise, once again, thank you so much. I hope no matter what your situation is, that you're having a great holiday, that you're seeing family. If you're not seeing family, you're seeing friends, or maybe you're just taking some time for yourself. No matter what, we appreciate that you have welcomed us into your homes and into your lives and been able to enjoy Arthur with us. We really appreciate you. This is a time of year to look back on, well, the year that was, and what made it so great. And a consistent great thing was this show, and it couldn't be great without you listening. One more time, thank you. Now have fun, enjoy the show, and we will see you in 2021. Okay, starting this off, knocking on wood. Okay, take two. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is another edition of an ECL commentary. And, well, I gotta be honest, it makes me appreciate all the other ones that we've done before because this is our take two on the Arthur special, DW, and the Beastly Birthday. Hello to all of you out there. My name's Will Young, and with me, as always, is Lucas Mancini.
That's right, Will. I'm coming to you from cyberspace. The information superhighway has brought us together.
That's right. So I must also say it was very nice to see you when we recorded this in person, even if it didn't turn out the best. it was still very nice to kind of celebrate the show's 4th birthday by being able to kind of reconnect face to face. So I think there was at least a bit of good came out of it.
I wish, yes, the audience could be privy to some of the thrills and spills and chills that were had in the original recording of the commentary. Some stranger yelling at us from my window. The Audacity seemingly completely not working. Lots of fun stuff lost to the sands of time. But you know what, Will? That's okay, because the jokes are going to be funnier the second time.
You better believe it. So, of course, like all of our other commentaries, this is syncable with this Arthur special that we're going to be talking about. If you'd like to listen to our other commentaries, most of them are available, or in fact, all of them are available directly on the Patreon. All you have to do is go to the main page, and there should be a subheading for commentaries. And they're also available on the free feed for you to take wherever you would like to take them as well. But as with all of those, we're going to give you directions. So, full disclosure, we're watching a YouTube video on Watch Together. This is our first time doing a remote commentary. So, I knocked on the wood. I'm not going to think about it too much anymore. But here's what we have to, here are your instructions. Right now, on this particular Arthur file, it has the whole, the YouTube file has the whole special all together, and we are on 1 minute, 8 seconds. We're looking at DW on the right side of the screen, about to walk under this piñata. So that's where you would want...
She's covering the storyboard by right now.
Correct. So what we're going to do is we are going to do 3, 2, 1 play. 3, 2, 1 play. And when we say play, we're going to press play, and you're going to press play on the special, and then that's how we're going to sync the commentary. Sound good, Lucas? Anything before we get started?
No, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for liftoff. I put my trust in the power of technology.
As we always have to do. So once again, thank you everybody for your best wishes on this 4th anniversary. We love to do this for our patrons, and we hope that you enjoy it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
So, oh my gosh, Will, it looks like it works.
Let's I'll tell you this, I'm not going to stop clenching for the next hour as long as this is on.
Oh.
So I will do my best. Hey, so we did talk about this. Let's kind of go over it once again. One of the big things that we touched on when we were watching this the first time was, of course, the animation. This is our biggest exposure to the Flash animation era yet, the two of us. I compared it to, they look like paper dolls in a way, the way that they're posed.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that, you get exposed to something, exposure therapy, it dulls the senses. I'm not as, disgusted and horrified as I was on our initial viewing. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm getting into this time. I think your paper doll sort of analogy is quite accurate. But you know what? Much like a paper doll, Will, the life is missing, I find. And then here we get this sun, which they gave Arthur ears. Usually when they animate, like in dream sequence and stuff, they animate inanimate objects. They don't give them like ears or make them like animals like the Arthur characters.
It's also very lippy. There's like a like I'm making the with my lips. So
like it's from like Rick and Morty or something. Yeah,
it is a little Rick and Morty-ish, and I think that's also probably a show that uses pretty similar technology. And I mean, we're not trying to like rag on it or anything. Honestly, it's just different than what we kind of grew up with and what we're still used to watching now. We're not going to get to the Flash animation on the podcast for a long time. It is what it is, and I imagine it's probably a lot easier to use than hand-drawn animation, so I don't begrudge them that. It's just...
Fluff McGuffin, I don't know if we talked about this the first time.
Yeah.
And get ready, people listening to this commentary, I'm going to say that a lot. Or I'll try and control myself and try not to say that so much. But Fluff McGuffin obviously named him McGuffin because that's what it is, right?
Oh my god, dude. This is the 3rd time I've watched this, and I didn't...
Wait, Dr. Zeke Robbins' Guide to Unlocking...
Yeah, you were...
I wonder if that's a Tony Robbins reference?
Could very well be. You were very fascinated by what Grandma Thora was reading there.
I know, there's self-help nonsense. Oh, and then we got the analog Confuse the Goose.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a replacement part for Confuse the Goose. Maybe she's just confused. Maybe the goose is too confused.
It's Confuse the Goose expansion pack. It's like when you buy the version of Catan where they added boats.
You get to confuse the geese. Confuse the geese.
Oh my gosh!
Huge party foul here. This incensed me, and I'm getting steamed again. Look at this, Emily. Very nice again. Fancy dress to a birthday party. I'm not crazy about it. Now,
Will, this is your third watch, right?
Yeah, it's true.
If you were gonna give it a thumbs up, thumb down on the first watch, and a thumbs up, thumb down on the second watch, I'm wondering, how you're going to feel about the third watch.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll give our judgments after the commentary, if you want to stick around for that. Emily wearing the tiara and showing up the birthday girl, no way. No thank you.
It's like wearing white to someone's wedding. It just must not be done.
Listen, I've got my tiara picked out for my birthday party this weekend, so if anybody comes up with something bigger than that, I'm just not. They're just not coming in.
By the way, happy Virgo season.
Thank you. This is my first year kind of realizing what that means. So I'm still trying to get my head around it.
In Arthur, the kids are always like really overdressed for their birthdays.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, I feel like when I was really young, my parents did used to do that kind of stuff. Where it's like, if I made my like grade 1 birthday party, I kind of remember everybody being wearing like their Sunday best or whatever.
Okay.
But I feel like that's of a bygone era.
I do too. In fact, I don't remember particularly doing that because I think the idea is that like with kids' birthday parties, you're having kids run around a lot. So especially if they're like outside or something, so you don't want them to get their good clothes dirty. It's just like, it's just somebody's birthday. They have that every year. That is definitely something like my birthday parties will, as long as I can help it, will not have a dress code.
We got that mystery aardvark in that portrait behind the table that is not present in the TV show.
Right.
Still perplexed if that's a great-grandfather, great-grandmother, if that's Grandpa Dave's wife, or Grandma Forrest's husband. We have no idea.
Yeah, it could be. I think the term I used was Grandma Dave, even though you know what that means. By the way, this is our first with two characters. This is funny story. This is actually the point in trying to sync the original commentary where I realized that it was hopeless. So I don't have good memories of this particular part of the episode. But this is Bud. We're not used to seeing Bud. He's the little brother of LaDonna, who we'll catch up with in a little bit. So this is our first exposure to both of them.
I'll say this about Bud. Stonewashed jeans and a green blazer is a really insane look.
Like good or bad?
I would say like I can't even make heads or tails of it. Like he's got plastic rain boots. He's got stonewashed jeans tucked into plastic rain boots. And he's wearing a green blazer like he just won the PGA Tour, and like a red hat with the flaps. It's really just. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like when this is such a like Lucas. I don't know if this is gonna mean anything to you, Will.
Okay.
The Met Gala. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I feel like last year's theme or the year before was camp. I don't think they had one.
Yeah. I remember that.
And some people were like putting together fits that were kind of like that because it's like it is very camp. It's very John Waters, I suppose.
I can kind of get what you mean. There's like a Midwestern feel to it. It's very evocative, especially like the moose ears, like that. I mean, Arthur has the same type of hat here in this scene, but it's that. That's a very
and then there's
comparison.
this. My gosh.
Yeah, this is some really out. You want to talk about John Waters? This is
I'm really surprised the internet has not found this particular scene.
Yeah,
because if you really take any screen grab out of context, it seems like it's from, some other scrupulous website such as DeviantArt or something else, as opposed to an actual canonized Arthur scene.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to take a screen cap of that. I don't normally do it for commentaries, but I think I'll have to make an exception on this one.
Also, who's that train conductor? Do you see that train conductor portrait?
Train conductor? No,
Yeah. It's right by the door where Mom Reed opened the door. It's kind of obfuscated by this like lampshade, but there's a guy wearing a train conductor hat. I wonder if Arthur's like grandfather Was like a train guy.
Oh, maybe I would actually like to hear more about that. And this is LaDonna, who is I couldn't tell you exactly when she's introduced into the show, but she's they're from New Orleans. I found when we were watching the special that her accent is more like, I thought she was from like Georgia or Alabama or something. It doesn't sound like.
I mean, they're close, right? That's all the
Cajun.
South.
It is in the South, but it didn't sound. I guess what I'm trying to say is it didn't sound like Gambit from the '90s X-Men cartoon.
It's literally like we need more famous people from Nolans.
Yeah,
because like I know Beyonce's from there, but she doesn't talk Creole. The only person I could think of, oh my goodness, is Gambit from X-Men. Remember they were gonna make that Gambit movie with what's his name?
Oh God, I don't know. Like
the guy, friggin'
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
Well,
He's Gambit.
It's a miracle that, like, hey, this is what's going to date this commentary. It's a miracle that the New Mutants is going to limp to theaters this weekend. So I wouldn't put
for us. I don't know about the Americans.
Oh no,
for us. Tenet is opening up in IMAX. Yeah, theaters across America still aren't open.
That's good. That's a good. Yeah, no, not keen on going to theaters. Not keen on Gambit either, for that matter. But you know,
I for one would, in X-Men versus Marvel, the arcade game, would often pick Gambit.
Oh yeah.
So, I actually really don't know much about like. What is Gambit's superpower? He throws cards?
So he can make kinetic energy. So basically he can throw anything and it has like that purple streak on it and it'll cause it to like explode essentially. So that's why he uses playing cards all the time, is he throws them and imbues them with kinetic energy so that they explode upon contact. And he's also like a trained thief.
Oh.
It's just a very 90s character, especially when you look at his typical design. I don't think he's not a very deep character.
Is he like a Rob Liefeld kind of?
I don't know if Rob. No, I think he's a Jim Lee creation maybe, but he's around that time. Like you can definitely tell the influence of like Image Comics and Rob Liefeld and all that kind of stuff.
We were so down the Gambit rabbit hole, Will, that we glossed over. I can't imagine why we wouldn't want to mention this. Please, you do the honors, Will. What is this imaginary land that DW is going to?
So Nadine has granted her a pass to the island of Ukubunga, which we had. Yeah, it kind of sends a shiver up the old spine. Even if it's meant in, it's meant in innocence as it is here. It's just like, oh, should I be saying that out loud?
It's funny because Ukubunga does totally sound racist. And they'd probably be better off saying something like Fantasy Island or something.
Yeah, just make it something up.
I was thinking about like the closest, and that writing, the fake writing in particular, reminded me of like the Bionicle lore.
Okay, yeah.
And it's funny that they're able to come up with like vaguely, made up sounding things that don't sound like Matanui does not sound racist, right? Like it just kind of sounds like its own thing.
Yeah, or Toa and stuff like that. Well, it's
Toa,
funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like I think that those are actually like Matanui is a character in Moana, so I think that they're based off of like Polynesian language. Like Toa is also something that's associated with Polynesian language.
Okay, well, so see, shows how much I know.
But
Ukubunga, not based off anything, and I think last time we recorded this, I mentioned at least that Herman Cain has just passed away.
That's right.
Famous discoverer of Becky Stan.
Yes. It's in my tummy, big dummy.
And I have some parting words from the Pokemon movie.
Now, was Herman Cain the same guy as The Rent is Too Damn High?
No.
Okay.
No, The Rent is Too Damn High. Herman Cain legitimately ran for president. The Rent is Too Damn High guy, I think he was running for some lower office.
Yeah, like mayoral.
And he was very much a one-issue individual. Herman Cain, there was ads. Like Herman Cain was in like Republican debates and stuff.
And still active on Twitter.
That's right. Well, until his untimely demise. R.I.P.
No, even after. Did you see that his account was tweeting stuff?
What?
Like his social media team is still tweeting stuff from the
Herman Cain
account.
I don't know how I feel about that stuff. Like, I don't really care about Herman Cain, but like, whenever I see a tweet from like the Bruce Lee Twitter account, I'm like, wait a minute.
Really? There's a Bruce Lee Twitter account?
Yeah, I think it's run by his estate, but It's like a marketing thing, I guess.
I don't like that. Yeah, so DW is going to this island, and meanwhile, we're gonna get into it in a second. But Arthur and his friends are going forwards in time, so we're dealing with travels through space and time.
Did Nadine always float like? Does she float like this in the old show? I feel like she's floating way higher.
Yeah, I think she usually just kind of shows up wherever she wants to, and then I don't recall the floating very much. That's a good point. Also,
oh my god! Oh my word! Also, that's some Adobe After Effects right there.
I don't know if we have ever seen before this little space under the stairs in Arthur's house. One of these like little storage eaves. Just like one of these things that old houses tend to have. And of course, we'll get into it when we get a little bit further into this, but this is, of course, evocative of a very particular children's book that we spent a lot of time talking about the works of Maurice Sendak, and you'll see why in a little bit.
Right now, it's evocative of a certain A24 movie, Bad Luck to Kill a Seabird.
Did you? I've been wrapped up about Robert Eggers' next movie, the director of The Witch and The Lighthouse, two of my faves.
You mean The Vavitch?
Yes, I do. I do mean that. You're absolutely correct. Anyway, he's got a revenge tale about a Norseman in the 10th century, and I'm very excited to see what that's all about. I actually found The Lighthouse for cheap on DVD at Walmart a couple weeks ago, so that's on my shelf.
For the movie like that, I always love to picture like the guy who just like buys movies on a whim from the Walmart bargain bin, like your regular Joe Schmo, and just how upset they would be watching The Lighthouse.
Or hopefully delighted, but you're right, it would certainly be a shock to the system. Nice nod to continuity there. DW had a nightmare about an octopus once. There are a couple of like shout outs to continuity here that I do appreciate, and we've been talking about that recently on the show too. I'm glad that Arthur has a writing team that is not afraid to acknowledge its history at times.
Breaking out the old lore Bible.
Yeah, really. Because, I mean, there's been so many small details here and there that you'd be forgiven if you don't remember every single one of them. Goodness knows that we don't, although some of our listeners are quick to notice when there are either continuity screw-ups or when there is extended continuity.
The pants tucked into the boots, it really reminds me of like... It's always, like, kind of uncomfortable when you're wearing pants tucked into boots, like, indoors.
Yeah.
Like, usually you'll do that after it's, like, a really blisteringly cold day outside. And, like, that whole look just reminds me of being, like, kind of damp and uncomfortable and, like, too hot indoors.
Speaking of fits, we need to get your opinion here on Ratburn 5 years in the future.
Oh, yeah. Pervert, I believe, is the same thing as I said last time. Get this guy out of here.
Well, I mean, it's the beard, isn't it?
The beard's a lot of it, yeah.
The beard, the turtleneck, yeah.
Those bright glue glasses, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, it's like it's real big. I own a toy store energy. You know, like you meet these types of people every now and then. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, glad that Elwood City has been embracing alternate means of energy. I've actually been writing a piece about
that.
I've actually been writing a piece about alternate energy in the construction industry, and that's been very interesting to research. Public transpo, I kind of miss taking the bus, but with COVID on the rise, no thank you. And then we got these new hologram phones,
yes,
which
5G has been set up all over Elwood City. They now have 5G towers. The Huawei Corporation has developed a stronghold in Elwood City. The sugar-free bowl, hilarious joke, Will. Very good stuff.
I remember missing that the first time. You were the one who spotted that for me.
The Stevia bowl. But you know what? Given all the future technology, Arthur's family still have a house phone.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe it's like retro by then. of course, Kate looks basically just DW's model with different hair, which is fine.
She's got turf bangs and like a little like Cindy Lou thing.
Ew, oh my, what a dynamic duo in hair. And of course, Arthur's parents can't really age him up that much in 5 years, so they just have different sweaters.
Arthur's dad's wearing like bowling shoes in the house.
Is it? Oh man, party foul. So they would be probably in their 40s. Oh, and there's Big Pal. He looks like Rory from Arthur's Perfect Christmas. And of course, but I wish we saw. I mean, spoilers for the rest of this. We don't. This is the most we see of Big Pal. We don't see him again, which is too bad. Maybe they just didn't want to use that model anymore. But I would love to. I just want to know what Pal's up to. I hope he's okay.
Never realized, maybe it's the Flash animation, the way the colors pop. Bold choice to paint your hallways lime green.
Oh, yeah? I'm excited for us to see Dora, like 5 years in the future Dora, because she was quite a revelation to you.
Yes.
We can already see, like, she's got the poster of her favorite character on the wall there. And there definitely was a point where you were like, "Is Dora a weeb?"
I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I am excited to see again.
Jump the gun here.
Oh, we got the Crosley down there.
The Crosley?
Yeah, like a record player that's got the built-in speaker. I saw that on the bottom shelf there. You can't be having those, Will. They ruin your records.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the vibrations from the speaker, you can buy them at like Urban Outfitters and stuff. The vibrations from the speaker makes the needle move and like scratches up your records. I have a friend who's unfortunately an audiophile, and he often laments the popularity of Crosley record players. In fact, he made fun of me for having one in Animal Crossing, which is pretty...
That's funny. I actually had one of those, but I never ever used it. So maybe that's a good thing, to just keep the sanctity of my few vinyl records.
Yeah, it's like the one from Moonrise Kingdom. And here we are in Ukabunga.
And this I found interesting about how essentially the A story of this special is basically a big homage to Maurice Sendak, Where the Wild Things Are, which you can see in the in both the character designs and in the general kind of layout of the plot, where DW escapes her childhood and goes to the island, and the monsters are there, which are just her friends.
Wait, Will, she goes to the island? Is Ewan McGregor there?
Yeah, so DW is going to have her organs harvested for the real DW. I thought you were going to make a Lost reference, but a The Island reference. My God. So yeah, I think that these, now of course they're meant to be monsters, but these are not exactly pleasant to look at.
To varying degrees, right? Like the Emily one is still recognizable as Emily, and it just kind of looks like a Maurice Sendak version of Emily. The one that's made to look like, sorry, what is his name? Gerald?
Bud.
Bud. The one that's made to look like, I don't know. The one that's made to look like Bud looks like a part of the male anatomy.
He does, doesn't he?
And it makes me very uncomfortable.
I completely understand that. It's the lack of neck that really that makes it seem such a way.
He's out here looking like, my man's out here looking like Steve Bannon.
Oh man, and then we got the Tibbles, who are just basically just hairier and have more jowls. So could just be then at age 50. And although since you'll have the commentary on, it's a little bit hard to tell, but they're also doing like, we're doing our monster voices for half of the special, and I just feel really bad that they had to essentially keep doing that ragged voice for the whole thing. It's just like, it's got to have the tea and honey on standby.
Yeah. It's like how Mark Hamill can't do the Joker voice anymore because it's too hard on him.
Well, hey man, he did his time and a half with that Joker voice. So I love Mark Hamill. I love the Mark Hamill Joker. I think it's just time to let somebody else give a crack at it. John DiMaggio is really good as the Joker. Brent Spiner was a weird choice, but was okay. Ugh.
I mean, I don't disagree. They do look like chew toys.
Well, and I just also don't really like listening to them either. I mean,
I don't like listening to them. I don't like looking at them.
Yeah, again,
it's funny. It's funny. They capture the Maurice Sendak in like the hair. The hair looks just like. But and I think we mentioned this last time is that one of the issues with the Flash animation is that it's more difficult to capture the changes in art style that Arthur likes to do, specifically for like dream sequences or when they're parodying something specific. So like, for instance, like there's the famous Arthur episode where they're doing like South Park and they're doing like all these like Dr. Katz, and they match the art style as well. And that's a lot harder to do when you're just using Flash animation. Like you can see what they're going for with the way they draw on the monsters, especially in the hair, but like the backgrounds and like everything doesn't evoke it in the same way it would if it was hand drawn. And is this Tower of Cows, by the way?
It's Tower. I think it's Tower of Soy.
Oh, Mike, I love this like plant-based future. You know, it's funny. When did this come out?
This would have been, I think it was 2017 or somewhere around there.
Very, very prescient. I mean, with the advent of plant-based KFC, have you yet to have the plant-based KFC, Will?
No, but I'd like to try it. I had the Beyond Burger version of A&W.
That's okay. That one's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. And there we have Weeb DW. I should have asked my friend who could read kanji what the kanji on her shirt says. This is crazy. This is so wild.
Yeah, especially like what draws your eye immediately are the weird glasses with like the upside down kind of rims to them. And but it is certainly, it's a lot to take in at first because of course we're looking at DW when she's Dora, when she's 9 years old, or like 8 going on 9. So she's actually older than Arthur, taller than him too. So she does kind of shoot up in height after a while.
I wonder what would be on her My Anime List profile. Like, what is she watching right now?
Ooh, good question.
Let's take this is a good opportunity for me to see. Anime is kind of on hold right now because of coronavirus. What's going on? My Anime List, winter 2020 or fall 2020.
Lucas, I do want to follow this. I just want to quickly say thank you to arthur.fandom.com. Future DW is wearing a shirt with her name on it in Japanese katakana. So that's Dora.
Oh, Dora.
I can't say that I know much about anime.
DW's definitely watching Haiku to the Top second season. You know she's standing those volleyball boys.
Yeah. But she also she does like action cartoons though, as we see in a little bit here. So
true.
Maybe would she be into like Attack on Titan? I know, I'm sorry. I'm such a basic anime boy.
No, I mean, sure, why not? I heard the final season was very good. Much to my surprise. I'm sorry, Will, I got distracted. I'm looking at what's coming out this upcoming anime season and I don't recognize any of this.
Well, we don't do the we don't do the check-ins anymore, the check-in podcast. So we haven't heard your thoughts on anime in a while. So it's all good if you need to get it out here.
Ooh, I'm doing a gymnastics one. Yeah, fall not looking so hot, or it's just not my kind of thing. Let's take a look at winter. What's coming up on winter?
This is also 2020 is when we're recording this. Just to be clear, in case you hear this years from now.
Ooh, okay. Winter's got some heaters. Finding Neverland Season 2 or
The Promised Neverland
Season 2?
Yeah.
New Yuri Camp Season? New Beastars, Dr. Stone? Oh my god, Winter's... Yeah, Cells at Work? That's crazy. I'm glad I'm looking at this now, too, because I don't have to look at this dance sequence.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just like... This is one of the only songs that they do in the special, which, you know, if you're comparing it to something like the Rhythm and Roots of Arthur, that has a couple of different songs, and it's not done by people in monster voice. So, let's just say I wasn't coming to this special expecting a song, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's that song for you. We can talk a bit more about songs whenever we do the Rhythm and Roots commentary. Which, hey, if this works out, maybe sooner rather than later. Who knows?
Everybody's doing what they want to do. It's like some sort of anarchist commune. It's like the Chaz or something.
Doing the big beastie boogaloo. Now, you also really liked the doors to their huts that are just their profile, their shadow profile.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of that Fox, that canceled Fox game show Hole in the Wall.
Yeah,
See how many
I've never heard of
seasons.
this.
Let's see, Hole in the Wall, because I just want to focus on anything other than looking at these creatures. Hole in the Wall show. What do we got here? American Game Show. God, when was the last time you watched network TV, Will? From 2008 to 2009, the show is an adaptation of the Japanese show Nokabe, meaning brain wall, nicknamed by YouTube fans as Human Tetris, in which players must contort themselves to fit through cutouts.
Okay.
A large 13 by 7.5 feet styrofoam wall moving towards them on a 50-foot track.
That sounds kind of fun. I might be interested in checking that out. It's called Hole in the Wall?
Yeah, 40 episodes.
40?
Eight of which were never aired.
Okay. See, when I think of obscure game shows that no one remembers, I think of Downfall with Chris Jericho.
Oh, I could never forget Downfall. I too watched Downfall with Chris Jericho.
All right. I'm gonna watch later some Hole in the Wall. See
have you speaking of like obstacle courses and those type of things, have you played Fall Guys?
I've not. My friends have though, and they really enjoy it. I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I haven't been able to get my hands on it. I might.
I haven't played games much this year. I've kind of fallen off on the games, but Fall Guys has really tickled me. There's something about applying battle royale mechanics to a Mario Party that's really, really compelling and really accessible, I find. It's one of those easy to grasp, hard to master games.
What I might do in the next couple of days is just get PlayStation Plus for a month so I can get Fall Guys for free and just try it out, see what the fuss is all about. Mostly I've just been seeing videos of people just standing at the finish line and throwing people off.
Oh yes,
which doesn't seem fun.
Those are enemies to society. Those people are a special type of what is going on here?
So they're doing all the stuff DW wants to do. They're playing games where she wins, and it is very much like Where the Wild Things Are. They even had the Wild Rumpus, which I remember we talked about briefly. We discussed the Where the Wild Things Are movie and how I'd like to watch that again. I wonder if maybe it would hit
the
me.
Spike Jonze film.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
I wonder if it would fare differently. I remember at the time being kind of put off guard, and it wasn't what I expected. I was expecting a movie-length adaptation of a 30-page children's book, and instead it had themes and metaphors and stuff. So I wasn't ready for that when I was 20.
Had that Arcade Fire song in the trailer. Mm-hmm. No, Spike Jonze has made very few movies, right? He's only really made Her, Where the Wild Things Are, Adaptation, and Being John Malkovich, right? So, you'd think I would have seen it, but no, I've only seen parts.
Her, great movie.
I never saw Her either. I know that it's really good. It's one of those movies where it's it seems very good despite how silly the premise sounds when it's explained to you. But people have said that it's actually people who I trust have said that it's really, really good. So one of these days I'll see it.
I think you'd like it. It's very fun to look at. There's a lot of great colors and style, and I think
love everybody's high-waisted pants. I do love the high-waisted pants.
And the story I think really acquits itself very well. I remember enjoying it more than I thought I would. It does actually kind of seem like your kind of movie, even in just terms of the way people dress. I think you would get a kick out of that feature. I think it's so weird. I remember the first time I was a little confused, but it's right, Dora has Arthur's room because there's this weird unspoken thing of Arthur's just been missing for the past 5 years, so Dora inherited his room, and now he's back, and he has to sleep on a cot in Kate's room. I just I feel if this were anything else, there would be this, tearful reunion of just oh my boy, you've been lost for 5 years.
It's true.
And then you could go a couple places with that. It's just is this actually an imposter who is pretending to be Arthur? There's that documentary about that person who pretended to be that couple's missing child, and then it turns out it was a professional con artist who was actually in their 30s or something. Bacon and egg breakfast dumplings. Now, we were trying to figure out exactly what it was that Buster was eating the first time. So that's what his big invention is. They look...
I know, because, like, what's in a pierogi?
Well, that's the thing, is that you can put a lot of different things in a pierogi, and bacon and egg is totally something that you could do. But traditionally, at least around my house, it's usually cheese, potatoes, and maybe, like, onion or sauerkraut or something. But there are definitely, like my mother was telling me, you can put bacon in there. You can do, like, dessert pierogies, which seems like blasphemy to me, but I'm used to it as a dinner thing. Now, this we were both really taken by, because this seems like an idea you could do now. Like, this is open for any entrepreneur who knows a little thing or two about wind systems.
Well, I think the thing about this is, like, all you would have to do is actually go to those real-life wind tunnels and bring a board, right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if anybody's done that before.
I mean, let's use the power of the World Wide Web
and
to skateboard wind tunnel.
This also feels like a game like this would have debuted on PlayStation Plus and been like a surprise multiplayer hit.
Also,
like Hover Park.
Love the Royalty 3 like skate music.
Yeah, the wah 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 wah. You just gotta get some guitars, get some kicking drums. You're skating, baby. And we do get to see aged up Bud here.
I'm watching this YouTube video called Jonathan Martinez Skateboarding Test in a Wind Tunnel.
Oh.
Let's see this here.
Okay.
Oh no, this is testing like the aerodynamics. That's not what I want.
All right.
I want like that one P Diddy video where they're like, you know what I'm talking about.
I think
they're flying up and down in the wind tunnel. They get the reflective suits, P Diddy and Mace.
I was thinking about the opening of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie where they go sky surfing. I want to do that, but not actually. So this seems right up my alley.
I think you can actually do that as well. Like,
I bet you can.
If like if the Point Break remake is to be believed.
Yeah. Oh my! Did you see that with your own eyes?
No. I saw the trailer. I don't think what. Now I got to see. I just closed the Google. I got to know, how was that movie received? That movie came and went
poorly. I can tell you, poorly.
That movie must have come out on like Christmas or something. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
my god, 2015.
Yeah,
dude, I thought this movie came out like last year.
It was buried.
American, German, Chinese co-production.
Oh my god. Something that should have just went to die on VOD.
Edgar Ramirez? Who are these people?
Right? It's like nobody. Anyway, the Point Break remake I've heard nothing but bad things about. And here we get the character who kind of pushes the plot forward in this part of the story. It's Ruthra.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes for the Point Break remake.
I believe it. So yeah, Ruthra, which is Arthur in the Where the Wild Things Are style. And thankfully, at least for Arthur's voice actor, they probably knew how much they needed him over the course of several seasons worth of recording, so they just pitched his voice down. Put the little like monster Vocaloid effect on his voice, so he doesn't have to talk like this. They'll just pitch that down. It's fine. I kind of wish they did that for all of them, just so they could save the voice actors trouble. But it is what it is, man.
I remarked on our last watch, he looks like Eugene Levy.
He does. The bushy eyebrows. And Dan Levy also catching up to him in that category. Does Eugene Levy have a unibrow?
I think he's just got thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
I also think he might be canceled.
Oh dear.
I don't know the specifics. I think he's just like a problematic kind of guy.
Okay. Well, older white gentleman, you know, flip a coin and that'll happen sometimes. Sometimes the voice is also like, I'm trying to think about like where I might have heard it, but just like,
That sounds like you heard it from the Adam Sandler feature, Eight Crazy Nights, Will.
now we're gonna go to the island of Ookabunga, and then we're gonna have I've got white hair under my armpits, and everybody likes me. Yeah. One of my biggest shames is finding that movie funny.
Wow. Gets a hearty chuckle out of you?
The character of Whitey does, and it's just because of the voice. It's just Adam Sandler.
You're not busting
around.
a gut at classic lines such as "Nighty night, you poopsicle" and stuff like that.
No,
I just heard a laugh.
No. I said no. I was denying. You cannot.
You were laughing at me, reminding you that the legendary, up there with "Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn," "Nighty night, you poopsicle." From 8 Crazy Nights.
Unfortunately, we only see 9-year-old Visita, or probably like 7 or 8-year-old Visita from the back. We don't actually get to meet her, which stuck in your craw a little bit. We both wanted to see.
I wanted to see, if DW's a weeb, is like Visita like an e-girl or something, or is she like cottagecore?
Oh, good question. She might be a bit young for cottagecore, but who knows? It's pretty popular these days. I can only claim to know it on a facile level. I also do like that Arthur is like introduced to this brand new show that he loves by DW, which is like, it seems like I think maybe it's like, so if Bionic Bunny is like Superman and Dark Bunny is Batman, this seems like maybe the Teen Titans
or if you take it kind of reminds me of Astro Boy.
Oh sure, yeah. Hopefully,
and we know the Arthur writing staff is already fans of Osamu Tezuka.
Yes, of course. Hopefully, not as bad as the dubbing of Astro Boy is, which is hilarious. Right up there with Speed Racer.
Oh my gosh, those old. We've recently around. We do an anime night on Thursdays. And one of the things that we've been bringing up is these old Speed Racer dub clips. My gosh, what an amazing treat that show is.
Haha, I've defeated him, and now I will go on to win the race. Ah!
It's like, Speed, slow down. Those people need to win the race because they need to pay for their hospital operation. He's like, no, Kenny, no, Tracy, I can't slow down. I have to win the race. And he like speeds up. He's a maniac.
Yeah, he's ruthless, man.
Oh yeah. This would get boring. This island sucks.
Living on this island, forget about it, of course. And it's the classic thing that kids have to learn is that too much of a good thing is a bad thing, which seems impossible when you're a child. But it's like, as DW says here, it's like they have food that tastes like any food that you want. She has a bird in a second that will sing any song that you want, and it's just like, it's too easy. It's too easy, and unfortunately, that is a lesson that I myself continue to have to learn as well. It's that life just can't stop and start at your convenience.
Making the bird sing "WAP" by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
This was actually nice to hear the Mary Moo Cow voice again. Like I was wondering if she had been, if that voice actor had been around since then. But it's clearly like the most inane. It almost sounds like a parody of Mary Moo Cow.
Art imitating life there. Mary Moo Cow, obviously a parody of Barney the Dinosaur. Fun fact: the American military really did use the Barney the Dinosaur songs as torture in Guantanamo Bay.
That's right. I remember hearing about that. And of course, you play that. That was part of our patrons. If you haven't listened to it yet, our For the Kids episode on Barney and Friends, we talked about the negative reception to Barney. And part of it was that, it was so annoying and reviled that all you had to do is play those songs at high volumes. And it was literal torture. So good memory there, Lucas. Oh, this is unsettling. I don't like this. Also, Ruthra covering his real ears, not his the side of his head. Sometimes you gotta watch out for that. Sometimes they'll get tricky on you with that type of stuff. The Ruthra voice does kind of make me chuckle at times. Just like it's. I guess I'm thinking more of the direction for Arthur's voice actor. Is like, okay, do this line, but do it bigger. Like, I know.
Yeah, well, when you do it like that, you kind of sound like Donkey Kong. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so this alternate history where Arthur went to Ukubonga.
Oh, wait.
Also
Stanley moving, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something that we ever get into, where Stanley is just as much of an imaginary character as Nadine, even though he really exists. It's also funny to see little Arthur without glasses. I've always liked the times where we've seen Arthur younger than age 8 because he's very cute. He's very cute when he has like real person eyes. Then he gets the glasses and he looks a little like Hannibal Buress. And then that's, I mean, not that we need a YouTube video explaining how Arthur became Ruthra, but it's just like, yeah, just went into the middle of the jungle and became bigger and angrier and meaner and all this kind of stuff. Just kind of turned into a monster. It's like, okay, well,
DW and the Beastly Birthday explained? And it's like a picture of me making the soy face. And there's like a bunch of arrows in the thumbnail.
Oh, man. You know what? I do wonder. Also, this was a big topic about how now the Tibble twins are in space school, which I maintain means that it is just school in space. It doesn't mean that they're becoming astronauts.
But Will, to get into space, they would still have to go up in a spaceship to the space station. And I feel like you need to have a like a minimal kind of aerospace knowledge to do such a thing. I think it was another time, and this has come up on the podcast. This keeps coming up, but the Ben Affleck commentary on the film Armageddon, when he's talking about
this.
It does really make me laugh. I want to watch the whole commentary, but when he's talking about training oil drillers to become astronauts, and he's like, why not just train astronauts to be oil drillers? And Michael Bay's like, shut up, Ben. But
shut up, Ben.
One of the things Ben Affleck says is like, yeah, I mean, they're the best oil drillers, but what do you do when the EKG meter's off and the booster thrusters don't fire? And
I mean, hey man, he's right, and it's not like celebrities don't notice these things when they're in these movies. So yeah, just the Tibble twins in space is I'm amazed that they haven't accidentally killed one another at this point. Also, I can't believe Arthur gets, shunted 5 years into the future against his will, still has to do homework.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be doing like press conferences and stuff. Like, I would never work a day in my life if I was a time traveler. I'd just become like an influencer.
That is literally a business unto itself. You'd become John Titor. That do you remember that? Maybe it was.
No, I don't know who's John Titor.
Well, in the early days of YouTube, there was this guy who pretended to be a time traveler from the year. I think it was far off at that point, maybe like 2015 or something.
Whoa!
And I remember I only watched one video. I remember him making reference to President Nick Nolte. It's kind of funny. I think John Titor ended up having a bit of a mythology. It's kind of a fun read, and definitely like a very early YouTube thing where it's like you go back and watch it and the production.
Don't know what DW is planning on doing with all those coconuts, but it seems like a lot of extra weight on the boat that she doesn't need.
Yeah, I got to imagine it's just like classic lack of foresight from a little kid. But you're absolutely right. Maybe if she's bringing Ruthra with her, Ruthra can use his like teeth or his claws to in order so that they drink the water. I'd really like to try coconut water.
You've never had coconut water?
Well, I think I have, but like straight from the coconut.
So I actually don't really like coconut water, nor do I really like coconut milk. But I do like. I'll put you onto this one, Will. The coconut LaCroix is underrated.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's one of the better LaCroix flavors.
Okay. Coconut flavoring, I'm kind of in the middle on, but I remember liking. I think I've had coconut milk before, like just from the grocery store, and it was all right.
Like I said,
I just splitting open a coconut would be fine.
coconut LaCroix. It's not. It doesn't taste like coconut water. It's hard to describe, but we try to get a different sparkling water in this household every week. You know, we've been going through the Bublé's and the Ahas and the
Oh yeah,
but the LaCroix is my favorite.
gotcha. Yeah, this surprisingly harrowing scene for like a an Arthur hour-long special where it's like, well, goodbye, Ruther's probably going to be killed, and DW sheds tears over him, over her brother? Question mark.
My face when watching this movie.
Got him. Yeah, and this also another reminder that Thora and DW in the normal timeline are the same age as my niece now. She does not have the vocabulary of a DW, but she is very smart. Oh, Lucas, now that you mention it, I keep looking at their boots and I'm getting like the phantom.
Yeah, wearing heavy winter boots like indoors, it's this exact scenario too. Like on a field trip or something, you're dressed for the outdoors and all that stuff strapped in. It's really uncomfortable.
I'm just getting like the phantom damp cuff on my leg. I hate it. Oh, it gets them all salty too. Ugh.
Like specifically, like going to the movie theater. Like
right.
You got your jacket behind you.
Oh, jeez. You're burdened with all of this. It's like you're halfway to your weight limit in like Skyrim or something.
It's like that Kanye tweet where he's like, I hate waking up to a bottle of water on the airplane. Like now I got to deal with this water.
Patrick's Chocolates, right next to the toy store, which is interesting because this is a couple of years before that episode, or I think at least a year. So they knew what they were doing. They were setting it up beforehand. Sorry, kid, I gotta cash out. I've already taken the money to the back. Don't know what to do for you. I do like Nadine's new poofing into reality.
Yeah,
animation.
she's a lot more like the Cheshire Cat or something.
Maybe that's something they take advantage of in the later years, is kind of her more fantastical nature. It feels like a long time since we've gotten a Nadine episode.
Yeah, like the way she's laying down on nothing. I feel like she didn't used to do that.
Tranquilo. They also managed to always find a kid or a voice actor who has a very soft voice. This is me after having to deal with a Superstore cake, a butter icing pound cake for the last week. At the end, I was like, I don't like cake anymore.
Yeah, big revelation. I've never been a cake guy. I've been team pie since I became an adult.
I like cakes, I like pies, but I have a real problem with birthday cakes now because, with my family or even my friends, they'll give me a cake and then everybody will have one slice and I'm stuck with half a cake and I'm like, I don't want this much cake, guys. This is too much. So I'm making this is a real adult thing. As I'm looking at turning 30 this year, I'm like, okay, no more cakes for birthdays, just food.
Yeah, I
can eat it.
I kind of really hate the decorating in the Reed living room, these green walls, and the green walls, yellow drapes. We got the china plates on the stove,
the pink couch.
They have that weird painting that's always above their couch that looks like a Parcheesi board. There it is. What is that?
Yeah, so they keep these little they've got the Christmas lights under the stairs. They've got the chessboard. It's just kind of cool. It's another wrinkle to the Reed house that we've never seen before.
It's like a gun case under the chessboards where Dad Reed keeps his AR-15, the bump stock.
Oh man, what a wrinkle that would be if Dave Reed was a hunter this whole time.
Oh, Will, it's not hunter, it's for home defense. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, jeez. Hope he's got a license for that. We mentioned this earlier. The card that Arthur got DW is 2 llamas instead of 2 aardvarks, and it's the classic it's like happy birthday to a great brother instead of sister, which I think you mentioned you kind of do sometimes to your friends, and you
On
just
purpose.
cross it out.
Yeah. It's like congrats on the baby.
I think that's really funny. I like that goof. I like if somebody gave a card like that to me, that would actually be really funny.
World's best uncle.
I also kind of I think they imply that Arthur can't tell the difference between llamas and aardvarks. Although he said he was in a rush, so he probably didn't look at it properly, but it's just like Arthur just being like, I don't see species.
Yeah. Free Gen X of Arthur.
Also, no idea where Arthur got the money to buy a Fluff MacGuffin, but, well, there's only a couple minutes left in the special. We don't have time to think about it. And it is genuinely nice to have Arthur and DW just be like, I like you.
Yeah. I always like when they get along. And I like how sparingly they do it, too. Like, they're not doing it all the time. Makes it more special when it happens.
Exactly. Also, this weird angle of them looking up.
I was just going to say, this angle.
Ugh.
Why is his ear so low?
It's like seeing The Simpsons from the front. It's just like, you're not supposed to see. It wasn't meant for your eyes.
The Simpsons from the front always look like when anime characters are supposed to go insane, and it's like a fisheye angle.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, there's that awful place again. Ukobonging.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh. DW, enough with that. Oh, jeez.
We get one more rendition of the great song whose lyrics we all feel bad about having to say out loud. And there you have it. That's the end of DW and the Beastly Birthday. So let's give some quick final thoughts here, Lucas. I think it's kind of safe to say neither of us are a great fan of this.
No, not good. Not good. I mean, it's worse than Arthur's Perfect Christmas, and it's not as fun to make fun of as that awful 3D animated one that we watched.
Yeah, and definitely not as good as the Backstreet Boys one either. I think that's
my goodness.
It's either that or Perfect Christmas. I think are near the top. This is probably I wouldn't say this is the bottom because the Arthur's Missing Pal was really bad.
I will say Arthur's Missing Pal was just like such a fun fever dream.
Yeah, it does have that going for it. This is kind of like So I do wonder if this will continue into, we have 2 other specials we haven't done commentaries for yet. There's Arthur and the Haunted Treehouse and Rhythm and Roots of Arthur, which I've actually watched and I enjoyed. So I don't think that this is necessarily a quality problem with this era of the series or anything. I think we'll just have to kind of take it as it comes. And thankfully, it seems like this worked out okay in terms of this watch together commentary scheme that thankfully you put forward. So good thinking on that one.
Episode sponsored by WatchTogether.tv.
Yeah, check it out before, unfortunately, who knows, it might get taken down. Anyway, we hope that you've enjoyed watching DW and the Beastly Birthday with us. Thanks a lot for hanging on through our technical hang-ups. We appreciate your patience, and of course, we will have more Patreon content coming for you as we begin, what looks to be another school year and another September, another year with Elwood City Limits. So we hope you have a good rest of your week. I'm going to be enjoying my birthday this weekend, and we will have we'll be putting up the Patreon episode on the digital shorts on the free feed next week, and then after that we will be getting into Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on For the Kids here on the Patreon. So my name's Will Young. Thanks again for joining us, and for Lucas Mancini.
Oh, I don't think I copied any quotes down from this. I'll just use this opportunity to say, happy birthday, Will. Happy 4 years. Happy Virgo season. 4 more years. 4 more years.
We will.
Oh gosh,
4 more years.
There's that sun again.
We'll see you next time.